Do you just want mainly the shot calling stuff?
Everything. Just everything general. I'll take notes.
Okay.
Let me get my...
Okay, so this invade, totally okay with it. You are, at this point right here, I am okay with it. You're going... They called right here, hey, they're on their way.
Yep.
I probably would have backed out a little earlier.
Right.
It works out. You get, I think you trade 2 for 1, and you get Cinder Flash or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it ends up being okay. If you're going to do that, the one thing I will say, you don't want to do it when your jungler's backed. You do that when your jungler is in close vicinity of you. You try and be in tandem a little bit more. So I think when you're in those type of situations, you just got to be in tandem with
I got to be wary of where my jungle is at before going. Because my thought was I was wanting to go down bot, but I didn't know where Zach was. So I also needed information on Zach and where my jungle is.
Yeah, so the biggest thing I saw in terms of your laning phase was there was a couple roam timers where you're like, hey, I'm going to try and make a play bot, or I'm going to try and make a play top, when it should be, hey, Dren, let's roam together, let's go make a play bot. And so you got to communicate that a little bit earlier to him that, hey, I'm going to have the ability to do this.
Roam.
Yes. Yep. Whether it be going top or going bot. So like
right, because I know. Right. Okay.
Go. What are you going to say?
No, so what I was saying is, like, I know if my lanes push out, I need to be doing something productive, and I think I need to time that better and communicating that with Dren.
Yes.
Right.
And being in mid, usually the nice thing about mid, so like he needs to be able to communicate with lane, particularly the top and the bot, like, hey, I'm going to be in the vicinity. In mid, he's kind of always in the vicinity, right? So then you play to the side that he is. So in this situation, I don't think it's necessarily bad for you to go get deep vision right here. If you wanted to come in and drop a quick ward right here and then back out, since particularly because you already have vision here, you know it should be safe. But what you could do is while he's clearing up here is instead rotate up this direction and ward this way, because then he's closer to being able to help you. Because if Zach, say something happens in a skirmish right here, if Zach comes, all of a sudden he can rotate over, and Syndra is probably the same timer, and you guys should win the 2v2.
Makes sense.
So that's
so main point is need to be wary of both our jungles a little bit better.
Yeah.
When making roams and making decisions.
Like this. So then you get, like, you burn a lot, I mean, it ends up being alright. But, like, if your jungle is on this side with you, how much better is that?
Right.
Fight? Or if their jungle happened to be there, how much scarier is that fight?
Right.
So I don't mind the timers. I think those are fine in like solo queue to do those timers, but in comp you're gonna want to be a little more synergy with your jungle.
Good call out.
Skip through this. I think too they have to be. I don't think that's on you. The only thing here would be, hey, being extra, like, hey, you can't be that far out with my mid laner missing, kind of thing. You knew you guys were fighting over this, and so you got to be a little more careful there. That's not necessarily your fault. That's just a tiny communication.
I
think you communicated that fight really well right there with Dread, like, hey, let's push, and then once Ninja showed up, you're like, all right, let's back off. You did a really good job there.
Like, I thought my shot calling was, like, okay, but...
No, you did good. I thought you did really well. Considering you're like, how we have to kind of baby the top lane a little bit in terms of the macro, I think you did a really good job. Your combos, this is just a Swain combo thing?
Yeah, it's the E pull into the W instead.
W, then pull.
Yep.
It'll hit with a lot more frequency. So you E, you W, pull them right into the middle of the W.
You've told me that before. That's why I remembered it when you saw it.
It's just a slight combo. Yeah. It's not like the biggest deal in the world.
Yep. It's like the champs that you've been putting me on, I'm like a little rusty on, but it's not like...
Oh, that's good. Dude, I just thought Swain, I probably would have put you on something different if I didn't think it was just absolutely smurf here.
Oh, wow. It was a really good decision. Like, that late game was fucking nuts.
Yeah. Oh, dang, that E would have killed if we didn't hit the knot back on accident. It's okay. This one, you guys just stay a little too long. I don't remember the full communication here.
Yep, we stayed over too long because then they said they're rotating in.
Yes, they said, hey, they're rotating. I also, honestly, once I hear, like, honestly, when I hear, hey, bot lane is rotating, to try and force them to disengage. Because one thing, your bot lane's trying to back right here, right?
Yep.
I probably ult right here. Right here. Like, I'm ulting already.
Got it.
Just to try and keep them. Because he can't change. You're still in ult this entire time. He never leaves. Like, you're still in ult this entire time, right?
Right.
And maybe you trade a kill there. Maybe. Or get passive.
Yep.
So I don't think you need to be as... Unless there's, like, something specifically you're saving it for, I think you can be a little more aggressive with your ult. Because I mean, they just can't fight you in it, and this whole team is going in, so it's going to be hard for them to get away.
Right. Not gonna lie, this game did get me a little worried around, like, when Syndra just got all those kills. I was like, wow.
Yeah, there was one fight in the mid lane that was rough. The whole time I was like, dude, we just need it to scale. We're good. We just need to get to a point where they can't kill, or like they killed you in a fight right here, and they bursted you, but they had nothing else for anybody else. So your team just wiped the entire team.
But that's just also me knowing, like, I didn't know the matchup super well, so that's another thing. Like, I just needed, like, okay, just keep scaling. You're Swain, like, you scale well. Yeah.
Okay, so this one, I don't mind this. You guys gotta commit probably a little earlier to diving. It's unfortunate that he was just barely ahead and that he missed. He ulted there, which is weird.
Yeah.
This is good. So I think you guys are good here. You got the pull. Just walk it out. Walk it out.
We should walk it out.
So that's just one of those things. Hey, just bail a little bit earlier. Once the play is over, understand, especially in comp and solo queue, you probably can stay and just kill that guy too.
Right, but the communication, like, coming up.
Yeah, the enemy team in comp is going to be like, yo, we're on the way, right? But I think overall, you're fine so far. Conceding the objectives, I think that if we, like I said, really the objectives here, I don't think we needed to concede any of them. Or we did, but it's not because of the composition necessarily. It's because we made some mistakes within, like, we got caught in the river or got caught. They were just a little quicker on those earlier rotations was the biggest issue than we expected, kind of. Which again is just comp.
Their mid lane wasn't that good though, in my opinion.
No. You pretty much the entire time smurfed on him. I'm gonna do a one-on-one with top laner so I can show him, like, because the biggest issue is the timings on when to group to team, like use TP to team fight.
Yep. That's just a decision call though. There's times like you're gonna get more. Our whole team's gonna die.
Hey, you ult? Yeah. Oh, it's so unlucky that he stole that.
Yeah, this is where they spend a lot of shit killing me.
No, this is not the one I'm thinking of. You guys lose this fight because you guys weren't quite scaling yet, and Zach, we don't have the damage for Zach. This is communication with him of when to. So like right here, so he didn't need to flash right here. You can't call this out. This is just learning for him. I think you do the right thing. I think we're doing okay here. I think you need to be frontline. I mean, it's a hard. Yeah. He doesn't need a flash. He just presses R right here. That's all he does. He instantly just Rs. Because when you have...
he should have just been able to transform right there and
just press R.
That wall. Yep.
But Okay.
That's so unlucky. You got
This,
that
yeah, he stole it. Here's my one big thing for this. We don't need to force this. So you guys did it with the bear in the next game, and this is a really common thing to happen. Honestly, even through like my emerald and low diamond games, I see it.
Yeah.
Where people will sometimes force the objectives when you absolutely don't need to fight an objective at this point. Okay, our composition by default counters the enemy composition. So at some point, pretty much no matter what, your composition is going to eventually beat this. Like there's nothing they can do. Yours eventually will win, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no need to go for these big flips. There's no need to say, hey, we have to force this. Yeah, because early Drakes, yes, it's nice to get Drakes stacking, but
we don't have to commit all our eggs for one.
Yeah, it's an early Drake. Early Drakes just aren't good anymore. Like,
good call out.
Drakes are like, if this was maybe a few patches ago, maybe this is worth it. I still probably say no, but especially now, it's just early Drakes aren't very strong. They're not strong. Like Soul, absolutely strong. Soul, you got to fight for it. But outside of that, it's totally okay to give them. So I think this fight is just a little too early for your composition to take this.
Finding the right balance of knowing when we can contest objectives and when to.
Yeah, and like I said, and with it, it's just like, hey, like, we got time. Like we scale. Like there's no reason to force it. And I'm not saying like concede. That doesn't mean concede everything.
No. I get what you're saying. It's like, yeah, we have to look at our composition. Like, do we need to force this because we're early comp, or are we gonna scale up and?
Yeah. So if you had to force it, if it's like crap, we're on a timer. We have to win by this minute. You want to force the fight. Otherwise, it's like, no, we're good. We'll take the Drake when an opportunity comes. And right there, the other issue too is while the Drakes aren't very good early, they still do damage. So if it had been a switch scenario where they were on it and you guys were kind of playing with them, maybe they had taken damage and they don't have a flank or whatever, right? It gives him time to stack up mini Gnar.
Okay. So in general though, is our plan to mostly play scaling comps most of the time?
No, not necessarily. Because there's a difference. So honestly, I don't consider this a scaling comp.
No, it's not, because I'm the only one that really scales.
Yes. Graves does too. Your comp, though, it outscales them because they have their damage isn't super high except for bursting somebody, like an individual target. Like, think Syndra, she can only kill one target. Think Kaisa, really, like, she can pop on Tim Fate's late game, but like she can still usually only kill one target at a time. Jax, I mean, yeah, he gets a big stun, but it's really just one target at a time. Nautilus, it's a knock-up, right?
I see where.
So your guys' composition, they all have to go into you except for Syndra. Every single one of these champions wants to go in. Whereas 3 of your champions counter anybody who comes in. So I wouldn't call it disengage, I would call it counter engage. When they go into you want them to come into you. It's playing to your advantage, right? Yeah. And so it's not necessarily that it's, we're outscaling them. It's more, hey, your composition at a certain point can't deal. If our composition gets ahead or it gets to a certain point, you auto lose the game. So I think if this early game had gone easier, I think it goes like game 3 did, where you guys just end up rolling the entire game.
Right.
So I wouldn't call it scaling, I would say, but yes, we will draft a lot to try and counter the enemy team.
Right.
Particularly with like I said, with you and Dren, like I will almost always try and give you two, like, you probably don't know this, Swain and Graves have like a 54% win rate as a duo in the jungle. Like jungle mid. Yeah, they're a really strong duo because Swain isn't super high, like he can do high damage, but he's not necessarily like, a bursty champion, but what he is really good at is facilitating. And Graves likes a mid laner who will facilitate. So that's why he does good with like Lyssandra's, Swain's, or Malzahar's, right? Is because it's someone who can lock down and set up kills for him. So that's why
I do like me and Dren's combo a lot.
Yeah, I think you guys I think your champion pools do really well together. Like whether he's on a tank or on a carry, I think they match what you play really, really well. This fight, it's the same thing. You play this so well in terms of the call out. Like, everything is going so good. You guys kill... so, you kill top and you kill Kaisa. Like, you're playing... I think you're playing this super, super well. Particularly when she walks back up and you just drill her. And he predicts the flash, too. I think you're good here. Right when Zach shows up, I probably back out.
Yep.
You guys are trying. You're like, oh, we can get it, and you survive for so long. But then the Syndra shows up and just kills all of you. So I think we just overstayed a little bit. Right there, it's like boom. That's where she gets fed, right?
Yep.
Because she got So all of a sudden she's just ginormous.
Yep.
So still only a 3K gold lead. You actually were really close. Like, it was back within 1K. That Drake fight swung from the Drake. So at Drake, it's like a 1.5K lead, and it swings before you guys get the couple kills up to a 3. So it's like almost doubles their lead just with that one Drake fight.
Right.
So if we play that, just like I said, that a little bit slower, we don't have to force the objective or anything like that. I think this is fine lane assignments. You don't have TP at this junction, but I think this is okay because Drake is spawning. And he just does that. They got to be a little more careful. That's on them. They just had to back off a little bit more. I think getting vision. This is going to be something I'm working with Primus on. Getting vision, like defensive vision, is important.
Because I've been calling out my TPs.
Yeah, you did good. He gets a solo bolo, I think. Oh no, is this the one where he gets away? Oh, it doesn't. Okay. He had one where he like barely gets away. So so Syndra TP's in. You guys actually just get. Oh, you killed Kaisa there. That's right. He ends up hitting a bomb. Okay, sorry, I was watching that. It hits the pole and then Graves kills him. So at this point, with you rotating up, so it went better than it probably should have. Where are you? You kind of rotate.
I went all the way around.
I don't think you needed to go all the way around.
I was just scared because I was better safe sorry because they were they would just 3v1 me if I do it the other way.
So here would be my argument to that. Yes, I'm crazy. I probably would have walked up this way because Syndra's main damage is still going to be her R, and you have stopwatch.
Good call. Yeah.
So you could dodge it. I'm not saying it's necessarily it's not bad to walk safe. It's just a slight thing. Can you do me a random favor? Can you look how much Conqueror did in that game for you?
Yeah.
This is a really weird thing. I
feel like it's like I struggle with that. I feel like.
Yeah. So Conqueror, I've been noticing, hasn't been doing very well with me. So one thing I want to try myself more, and I kind of want you to try if we play Swain again. I
did 600, like 700 healing.
So okay, like not great. There is a Swain one trick in China on the super server who's doing Airy in both top and mid. So I want to try. I want to try the Airy build.
I thought about Grasp.
I'm not a huge fan of Grasp. I guess in certain matchups, if it's a melee, it wouldn't be bad. But I do want to try the Airy build a little bit more.
It's usually been Phase Rush or
yeah, and that's why the Airy, this one, why it's a little surprising to me is the fact that it's Airy.
I mean, I guess you get constant poke with your Q though, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll try it next game.
I would right when he ease in, I ult. I also don't think you hourglass there. You didn't need to hourglass there. So hourglass. So you hourglass if you watch.
It's just not knowing the limit.
Yeah. So this is why. So you're going. So you hourglass because you're I think you hourglass correct me if I'm wrong, because you're like, oh, my health is getting low, right?
Yep. Yep.
That shouldn't be the response to hourglassing. The hourglass should be, I am using this to dodge a specific ability in this instance.
Got it.
And so it should be to dodge, counter strike, or knock up, or something like that.
Yep.
You still stall for forever, and then they show up. You guys got a ton of damage though, you did a ton of damage, which makes it so they can't even try Baron. And then he gets a solo kill. The Syndra thinks she can walk up against a Gnar, which is insane to me.
She has 2 levels too.
But it's Gnar. Like, you get run down by it.
No, I'm saying Gnar has 2 levels.
Oh yeah. Oh, on her. Yeah. Oh yeah, he does. Yeah. The Syndra at no point in this game should ever be able to match a Gnar. His build is off. I wouldn't build Bramble here.
Yeah.
I think this was a really good. I really like this call, except for the fact you didn't have ults.
Yeah.
I also would have called him to back off and TP.
Okay.
So this is again one of those macro things we can work on with him.
Right.
There's such a good TP ward right here.
Yeah. No, the reason I called it was because Syndra is dead still.
Yeah, I think this is a great call. I think that call is amazing. But when you guys start it, you tell him essentially like, hey, they're going to come. When you see them show up and start to come, I need you to TP to either this ward or this ward. You don't necessarily tell them which ward, but you tell them to TP to one of the wards near Baron. It could even be this ward, because if he TPs into this fight,
it changes the whole thing.
It changes, and I think, or if you have ult, one of the two, right?
Yeah.
This is good. I like your targeting here. I think you did a fairly good job targeting the right people. But yeah, so you guys traded. Did you get hurt? So you trade, and that was without Gnar being there.
Right.
And then you walked us out. This was good. That was a good R. You don't have Hourglass, so I think it's good to play it back like this and play it slow, which I think you guys did a really good job walking this out. Your calls on it were really, really good. On walking out the
Zac song.
The Zac and the Syndra there. But yeah, so that was one thing. Like, if you either you have ult or Gnar comes, you guys wipe that fight and you get Baron.
Yep.
And really the best way to call that is just telling him, hey, we're going to start Baron. Hades, look for a TP when I call it. So that tells him to get into position for that TP.
Yeah. I think I was swamped with what's going on with my.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Like I said, I mean, you're kind of shot calling for 2 roles. Like, I mean, being primary shot caller is a little hard because you're like trying to do your stuff while helping your team be in the right spots.
Yeah.
Which I know you're capable of, but it makes it a little bit harder sometimes in the game because you're so focused on doing stuff.
Yeah.
I would be using W to scout somewhere.
Okay.
The other thing too, so you guys kept saying, so like right here, you guys were like, hey, let's pull this out, right?
Yep.
I don't necessarily think you guys need to pull this out because you're pulling it into their vision anyways.
Got it.
And they have a Zac. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I guess a lot of champions, they just blast plant over. Well, Zac's just going to jump in anyways. So
yeah, I think our thought was that Zac may not reach that one again. I don't know.
Zac Z is huge.
Yeah, I know it. It's like, yeah. Yeah, I play it and I know it too. It's like,
yeah, so I don't think you need a really good ult. So I think you guys do really good here in terms of like, okay. Like how you play this. If you got that E off, you hit a sweet E. Couldn't get it off, but I think what you're doing is really, really good.
But my goal was just to zone off the carry. So that was my goal.
You were zoning off. Try and keep one. Yeah, so I think you're doing fine. Try and Hourglass a little bit earlier. It's one of those things. Again, you have Hourglass. Hourglass is, yes, it's to stall, but it's to dodge abilities specifically.
Right.
So like right when you see balls start flying at it, you should eat that. You would have saved a little bit
more help. Yep.
And then you should spamming Q right there. I think you get it anyways.
I get an auto off. Yeah, I get an auto off. And I just stay alive. And I think I also grabbed
the Kaisa. Just a kill. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about this one. He just kills it.
Yep.
You guys run him down, I think, though. Nar does, yeah. So ends up, I mean, overall, you can see, hey, we were down gold. All of a sudden, you guys, and they got soul. You guys are up 2k gold, and this soul is the least impactful in terms of...
Yeah.
Of fighting, right?
Yep.
I like this call. This is a really good call by you. I don't think you need a TP.
No.
I think, do you TP?
I did TP because I got worried.
Oh, you TP when Syndra just spawned, or not just spawned, so she's there, but you TP when you see them on the map more, in terms of like on these two visions. Nervous. Yeah, I get it. It was a panic one, but I don't think you need a TP there.
Yep.
Because then you just reset anyways. Yep. It was very useful. Very useful.
Yep.
Coordination here. I think you guys just need to be... So I can't remember the full call here. But you guys kind of back up a little bit, right? But right here, with this big wave and 2 cannons...
Well, this is why my thought was like, we didn't back, we just took Baron. So we need to be careful too, because they just had full buy and coming back into us.
I mean, the only one who doesn't have a buy is Taddy, and if he has a lot of gold, you tell him, hey, back and TP, because he has TP. Because this is 2 waves with 3 cannons.
But I also realized though that like, Dren wasn't with us.
Yes, so the call out would be Dren. Forget this. This wave is too
valuable to.
This wave is too bad. There's 3 cannons on this thing, and even if the one thing you can do, even if you're waiting, you guys back so far up
that we don't even get the Baron pressure on it anymore.
Yeah, like you lose it, so she's able to just walk up and kill him. Whereas at least you could have tried to at least keep them empowered.
Yep.
So I think you were playing just a little too scared there at this point.
Yep. Well, I think also in our mindsets, like we just lost soul too, right? It's hard to judge. I was hard to judge like where we're at in the game, if that makes sense. Like,
so like I said, so if it was another soul, it would be a little harder. But with the soul, it's not a combat. It's a rotation. Like the only way this soul is valuable is if they're better at rotating than you guys are. So yeah, so I think you guys just need to be a little more, and then you called it here. I think you're like, hey, we just showed 3. We got to push this.
Yep. This is where I tell them we back off a little bit here.
That's fine. Yeah, you have 1,000 gold. I think it's fine to back off here. He doesn't have TP. Like I said, so I would, in situations a lot of times in comp, if I don't have TP, I try and be 1 lane away.
Right.
So and I think we did it in one of the other games where I was like, hey, you need to be mid or you need to be top, and it's because they can rotate quicker. If you both have TP here, I think 1-3-1ing isn't bad either. 100%. I actually think it's a little scary with your composition. So the reason in this instance I actually probably wouldn't 1-3-1 is because
they don't have a line.
What? Say that?
We don't have a front line besides.
Yeah, you're the pseudo front line. Yeah. And normally you can get away with it, especially with the Ziggs. It's really hard to go into a Ziggs, but they have such long engage with Zac.
Yep.
That I think it would have been fine to. That I think you probably need to just.
That's one reason why I continue to say 4-1, because like I knew that I had to tank for the rest of the team in that sense too.
I think you were a little early on this ult. So that one was. The call was a little too early. And then also call. This is where you just say, hey, you need to rotate. You need to rotate, kind of thing. Because he sits mid. This is one of those where he's playing without he's got a black marker over his map or sticky note. But you play this well. You survive as long as you can. Then Syndra shows up and wipes you out. So I just think you guys overstepped. You got a little. You have Baron. It's one of those things too where it's the Baron was doing the work for you guys. There was no need to really force it. And you have a Ziggs. Like you guys don't need to be diving the turret, right? Because again, your composition does really, really well when they're going into you, and when you by default go into them and all of you tank turret shots and become super low because of it, it ruins your guys' how your composition wants to fight. I mean, truthfully, that fight went better than I thought it would, all things considered. Okay, so we're looking at Elder, right? Oh, they fight. This is the fight I was talking about, where they waste literally just everything on you. So I think the communication even was here, hey, when we fight, you TP.
Got it.
But I think you said that. But literally, you get one shot. But all of a sudden, now they have nothing for anybody else. Small thing here is when they fight here is this is more for Primus, but if you have it, is dropping a ward, which would have been Primus in this instance, so that his TP isn't all the way over here.
Out there, yep.
But yeah, so you guys absolutely just end up wiping him because at this point, because they use everything to kill you, like your team is just so healthy. Okay, so you get Elder from it. Here, I think we already talked about this a little bit. The call here is Graves do the Elder by himself. Everybody else goes to lanes right now.
We talked about this. Yep.
Yeah, so we talked about that. There's no reason for Ziggs. Even Renata, you could argue. Like, Renata's just a support, so it isn't as important. But he goes and preps this wave. That's great. So that wave is going to slow push. He actually doesn't do it enough. It ends up slow pushing because it crashes again and comes back up.
Right.
But
he didn't full clear.
He didn't full clear. Anyways, you guys get a free Baron. So because you have Elder, you get Baron. I was kind of hoping they would try and contest you for it. They didn't. So yeah, so this is where you 4-1, right?
Yep.
I think you guys, you got to make sure the one thing is, use it. We're getting red buff. Who cares? You have Elder. Like, let's. Dread needs to not be clearing here. We need to just say it. Forget it. It's great if we have it, but like. We have an Elder and a Baron. No, we need to be running this. Like we are forcing a fight now.
Yeah, we're wasting time.
And here, so he reacts to the Zac. Dude, I'm letting the Zac push. I wouldn't even react here. But that's okay.
That was my thought too. Like I don't care. Like they're just gonna.
Yeah, there's nothing. So yeah, you guys. I think you just kill Kaisa here, don't you? You like hit an E or something, or someone hits something. Oh no, he just one-shots her with ult. So yeah, and then you guys can force this. So you just get this. And then you rotate to bot, which is, I think, was the call. So this is good. Play it slow. I think this is good. And then this is the game-winning fight. And I think you called this really well. Like, hey, like I listened to it because that video Taddy put. Yeah. I think you were like, hey, we're playing slow. Like, can you hit the turret? Like, you were calling out the exact right things. That was a good flash in because it keeps your ult up.
Yeah, that was the goal was.
You walk back there, you should be walking forward so you can throw your E. I think you use flash, it is what it is, but the oh, such a good. Oh, that was so good. And then right on top of Renata. It was so good. Okay, we talked about that one. Any questions about that?
Nope, makes sense.
Okay. We'll do next game. Okay, this is the one you guys had a stranglehold over.
That one felt bad.
Oh yeah, it was like, dang, we had this game.
First blood.
This is Tad's fault, or not Tad's. I'm sorry, Dren's fault. He, I think he said it too. Is he didn't let the smite get off, and then we just overchase with the health. And you should be calling this off, guys. I can't rotate. I don't think you said it. Maybe you did, but that you have no mana and he has priority. He beats you in the rotation.
Are you watching something right now?
What was that?
What are you watching?
Oh, you're not in it. Sorry, I thought I was still streaming it.
I just see your client.
Oh, it swapped and then didn't swap over.
Yep.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay. So this fight in the jungle. So you guys had just won topside. He runs down to try and double scuttle, and he smites early and then walks away thinking it'll kill, and the Kane comes in and steals it.
Oh.
So that was his fault. He's got to be a little more aware of that. And then here you need to be calling off. Right here, they walk too far already.
Yep.
Because they can rotate over, and you have no mana, and the lane is pushed into you.
Yep.
So they can't walk forward. They end up dying or someone ends up dying because of it. Tarek does. It's okay, not the biggest deal in the world. They get an early Drake though, which is annoying. Like I said, early Drakes don't matter as much, but
yeah, I got a lot of farm CS on that.
Yeah, it was fun. Like I said, it was just one of those things where if they back off just 5 seconds earlier, no one dies.
Yep.
Just get through it. I want to do major objective stuff. See, this is good. I think you did really good here in terms of like, hey, we're on this. You guys have prio and top as well.
Yep.
You just pull them down. Oh, they barely.
Clutch.
Yeah, and then you guys got a kill on Victor, so that was good. Got the rift.
More towards late game where we struggled.
Yeah, and I mean that's gonna be the hardest part, right? Is coordinating the late game.
Yep.
Red team double kill.
Let's see how this thing. So you have a wave pushing into them. Okay, so that one is for Tad. He just can't walk up right where he was.
Yep.
Be a little more aware of where they possibly could be.
Yep.
That's just laning. That's not necessarily anything you could have done.
I think we're going to combo wombo.
Yeah, you just absolutely massacre him. And that's what this team composition wants to do, right? Like,
Yep.
you do stuff like that. It's like, oh, we just auto win fights if we can hit the combo.
I'm telling him, like, I was trying to engage him because, like, I was already really fed, so I was like, just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. I think that was a good call. Yeah, you just keep doing that.
Yeah, because I was pulling the Victor the whole time, so I was like, just, you have whatever prio you want in the jungle.
Yep. This is for Primus, part of this is because I'm recording this, so if people see it. This ward isn't as effective against Kayn. The ward should be over here, because Kayn isn't going to gank ever right here, he's going to gank through this wall.
Yep.
So this ward, while it's good against most junglers, should be here, because that's where most Kayns are going to path, because of how their champion works. And that's one thing too that will look at is sometimes, and again more for Primus, but there's certain jungles like Talon, like Rek'Sai, and like Kayn who their paths are so much different than everybody else's, so you ward differently for them.
Yep, makes sense.
This is really good. This is a really good play by them. They just run her down. Did you had TP up here? It looks like.
Yeah.
So.
I should have just TP'd.
Yeah. So right there, you just insta TP to this wave. When you see this one coming in, you insta TP right here.
Got it.
They also push too far. Oh wait, this isn't the one. Just kidding. It worked out really, really well, but that's the difference. I would have TP'd instantly right there.
Got it.
Right?
Makes sense. Because that could have been a big difference.
Yeah. It worked out great. You may even get first start here if you do. So at this point, you're just gigantic. You are up. You're up 2.3k gold, and jungle's up 2k gold. Every role except ADC is up gold right now.
That's when it's TP.
Yeah, and then you kind of you're really fed, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But
this is such a scary position to put yourself in.
Yep.
With how you rotate, I know what you're trying to do. That's really scary. If this Orin, I die for this to kill you. Because you have a shutdown.
Yep.
So that's just one thing to be like.
No.
It worked out really, really well, and maybe in the games it's worth it to do that call, but I would just be really careful of that call.
Yeah.
How you tank this? So communication on the tank. You guys didn't communicate at all on how you were going to tank this.
Yep.
It should be a Mumu or Aatrox taking the damage, and you also can't walk into the field.
Yeah.
You can. The other thing too is you guys can play this a little bit slower. That's going to disappear before the wave disappears.
Yep.
So yeah, I think just a little bit better communication on hey, I need you to tank this.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to give over the shutdown there.
Yeah.
And then he overstays. Again, that one's just overstaying. Being solo queue greedy. You guys had 3 Cloud Souls. Do you realize that? It was gonna be 3 Cloud Souls. Pushing too far.
Yeah, I was trying to give that kill to Patty because I knew he was kind of.
Yeah, you forget trying to give kills over.
Okay.
I think you just take it. Like honestly, you're the carry at this point. You're the ADC kind of thing. He's on Ashe. His Ashe is like, yeah, she does fine in teamfights, but she's a utility ADC.
Yeah.
So I think you just kill, and then you guys just push too far. So there's one small thing. Remember about waves, remember about TP, because the fight turns out way differently if they don't TP to that, but because of where the wave is, they get a TP. So it's just being a little bit more cognizant of, oh, hey, the wave's here. They have TP up. You can't keep pushing for this fight. I think Lana Salmon are fine. I think you pulled the trigger on here a little too early on the TP. You're going there to back them up, but your team's already winning the fight, and where your TP is, it's not going to affect the fight in any way, especially versus a Kayn who can just E out. So I think that was, you got a little too excited there in terms of to use your TP.
Yeah, I got overcaught.
This was so there was I don't know if there was a miscommunication. So they were like, hey, let's collapse on the Victor, and you kept pushing here, because they did call out, hey, there's Victor right here. Let's kill.
That's why I didn't hear it. That's why I couldn't.
So yeah, so it's just little like, oh hey, let's look at, you know, you see where enemy team is rotating, things like that.
Yep.
But small thing.
Yeah, tunnel vision there for a little bit. Rift was just running out there.
Yeah. He had to throw it. That did happen a couple times. We need to be a little bit better about using our Rift in timely, in good positions.
In good situations, yep.
Take trades there. You guys get the Drake because of it, so it's fine. So right here, I think you guys are still in a pretty good position. I think you guys have given over some shutdowns and taken some fights that you didn't need to. But I think overall you guys are still in a pretty good position here. Most of the shot calls I think are pretty solid so far. It's just that, like we talked about, that late game is where it struggled.
Yep.
You guys get a huge pick right here. Do you kill him? I can't remember if you kill him or not. Oh, he misses the Astro. The communication here was really good. I think you said, hey, force them to come to us. Force them to come to us. We want them to come to us. Do Baron, force them to come to us. Awesome shot call. Like, super good call. This is exactly what you wanted to do, especially with your composition. Like, you have a Taric, an Ashe, Orianna. Like, it's okay for them to try and come in team, right?
Yep.
You guys absolutely devastate them in the 2v2 here, or the 3v2. You don't have vision on him. I probably, yeah, he just flashed it. The flash the other way.
Yeah.
If you flash, instead of flashing this direction, if you just flash up, you stay out of turret range, and I think you stay out of range of the Victor too. Like when he flashes. Right here, flashing like where almost where Nautilus body is, right?
Yeah.
Astro.
That Astro.
That's a good Astro.
Yep.
Okay, at this point, you guys though are in a huge. You have a huge advantage.
We get the towers.
Yep. So right here, super. We're overstaying right now.
Yep.
So call should be, hey, there's do we get run? Is this the one where we get run down? Right here with their spawn timers, we should have, honestly, I wouldn't have even stayed for the turret.
Yep.
We have, because we're holding, right now we have a 5k gold lead. We are...
And I was also dead too, so that's another thing.
You're dead? So we have a 5k gold lead, but in this fight, he's holding 2.2 gold, he's holding 2.6 gold, and he's holding 1.1 gold. I guess it's a 6k gold lead. But that almost equals 6k. So, yes, you guys have a gold lead at this point. You haven't spent it. So you guys, right now, they're fighting on even ground. So we just way overstayed. Oh, he comes in and gets kills. We still way overstayed. Oh, I know what happens. We overstay again. So right here, you guys are even doing so much better than them. It doesn't even matter. You guys overstay. And then a Mumu tries to goes and bandage tosses in the heads. And then we all kind of just slowly get run down. Okay, so even with us misplaying what I think we shouldn't have stayed, we really shouldn't have stayed. So right here, we're up 7k gold. The play should absolutely be rotate right here and kill this.
And leave.
And leave. That is the play.
I was trying to call that, I think.
Yep, and so that is one I believe you did. I think that you even pinged it.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's a ping on it. Yep, there's pings on it. So that is because that goes from you guys are up 7k gold.
Because that was my thought. Was like we couldn't end right there, so we need to just get as much as we can and then just leave.
So it wasn't a huge swing. It was about a 1,000 or about 2,000 swing. So it's still not great, but you guys had a huge lead there. If you just back off, it's good. Okay, at this point, the game should be over, honestly. Let Aatrox pressure bot. This is fine. When a bunch of them shows up, you guys kill top. This is exactly great call. It takes forever to kill him. I think this is so far. This is fine. This is fine. We don't know at this point. Safe. We're playing safe here because we don't know where Victor is.
Yep.
He reset. So right here, I would be like, guys, we don't push too far here.
Right.
You get a kill. We
Yep.
don't need to overextend here. Right here, you just rotate to top.
Right.
Okay. It's like you're playing around your waves, things like that. Orange spawns here. I'm out. I don't know what you guys do. Oh, you're trying to get a pick. Okay. Yeah, Dren's just in a really, really bad spot. There. You guys, right here, you just leave. And you tell him to leave. He kind of plays the line. So this is good so far. You guys should be getting a reset because your carries, except for you, all your carries are have 2k gold. The other 2 carries do. So you should reset. You guys force the Baron. Okay, the communication here should I don't love this Baron force. So
Because we didn't back.
What was that?
Because we didn't back. We haven't spent our gold.
So it's that. You also have 3 open inhibs. You guys can play this slow. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to do anything. You can wait for him to keep pushing. He has a huge lead. Really, you just wait for them to... You force them into your base, and then you do it. Or into their base and do it. Instead, you guys just kind of go for like this. It's kind of flippy because Kayn is right there, right?
If we have the lead, we need to go for less riskier plays and just make smarter plays.
Right now, you guys have the lead. There's no... Especially with their composition. They have a Samira who has to go in.
Yep.
There's no reason to. I would probably have said if I was a Taric here, he should ult preemptively right here. He doesn't get his ult off, but it should have already been dropped. I also don't think you ult. Honestly, Baron doesn't matter. You guys are so far ahead. If you guys win a fight, you automatically win the game. So you ult Kayn here. Way better to just ult Samira and
Nautilus. Yep.
Yeah. So like right here, why is the call not to just turn on Samira and Nautilus? I get Baron's low, and I get that, but this is a free kill.
Got it.
And like I said, this isn't the game isn't at a point where it's, hey, we have to get this or we lose the game. You guys are the driver's seat.
So would you have also had Hades TP here, or just have him keep pushing?
Because you committed to the Baron, you needed to have him TP.
Okay.
Like I said, that's so funny. It's already spawned, but it's like because of the... so I would have had him TP here because you guys are forcing the Baron. I would have preemptively TP'd. I'd probably TP right now. To try and force them off. Was it on CD? Oh, Primus just said it's on CD for a second. Primus, you're welcome to join the call. So he didn't have ult. That's unlucky. So that's another thing too then, is we got to be cognizant of our timers here. He didn't have ult. Yeah, it's on like 17 seconds. So yeah, so I don't think we just don't have to force them. Like I said, at this point, even if they smite the Baron, what does the Baron... If they get the Baron, but we kill 3 of them, we end the game.
Yep.
Like there's no... So like I said, you ult Kayn. That's not really... That doesn't do anything for you,
Yep. Yep.
and then he TPs. So at this point, honestly, he probably ends the game at this point.
Right.
So he could have just easily just stayed on this, and he literally wins the game.
Right.
So I think that's a call there. And instead he kills a couple of them, but we could have probably ended the game.
Yep.
So I think part of it is just a decision making on, okay, what do we need to do to win versus what the enemy team needs to happen to let them win. And at this point, that was the only thing that they could that went so perfectly for them that it swings the game back in starts to swing the game back in their favor, right?
Exactly.
Because that play, you went from up almost 7k gold to only 3k. So that was a 4k gold swing.
Yep.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
This is where I get a pick on Samira, I'm pretty sure. What's the pick?
Oops. Let's look. Okay, so here's another thing. Why are we even contesting it? We can easily look at their base. Just run it down mid. If they try and get this Drake right here, you guys end the game.
Yeah, we lost like picture of the big, like we lost.
Yeah, it's and that happens in I think both games where you guys get so focused a little bit on like the Drake, the Baron and stuff, when it's like, yes, those things help you, but
and the end of the goal is killing the base. Yep.
Yeah, the end of the goal of the game is it's killing the base. So who cares if they get soul here? Like honestly, if two of them stay for Drake, you guys win a fight and end the game. So if I'm you guys, I am shoving it super hard down mid. I don't even care if they try and take this.
Yep.
Especially once this happens. Great fight. Everything goes exactly how we want. I think you guys ace him or orange up. Honestly, you guys end the game.
Go. Yeah, we just end.
You guys, you tank the turret's at less than half health. You have everybody up. You guys, Tarek tanks it. You win the game. So the game should have ended right here.
Yep.
You didn't even need the wave.
Nope.
Okay, we'll skip a little further. So that was instance one where the game was, or it's probably second time. The game was literally over if you guys just.
Same thing with Baron.
Yep.
I think we forced the Baron.
This is for him a little bit. He's got to understand the
timer's not up yet.
The time, there's nothing we can pressure, and we're not in a position for him to be this far up. He has to be playing further back. I understand what he's trying to do, because if he gets a kill here, he probably just ends the game. But he can't go for that type of play. He can only go for this type of play if Baron is up or you guys are already on the inhib.
Yeah, and we talked about that. Because it's like you're doing great on the weak side, but we don't have anything to pressure on the strong side.
It's split pushing 101. Okay, we just commit so hard for. Again, we're still in a winning position here. We barely miss it. We burn sums, all the different stuff. I think we're just pushing a little. We're playing a little too, oh crap, we have to win here kind of thing, when we don't.
Yep.
So we back off. Okay, so this is good. Like, it's all right. Everything's fine. But we keep chasing. We don't need to keep chasing. Get a kill, so that's good. Everything's going all right. I don't know how this fight goes. Why'd you hourglass?
I don't know. Panic.
It was a panic one.
Just panic. I thought maybe he had ult up. I don't know.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
I think you guys need to make the same call here. You guys need to choose. Are we going to try and end the game right here? Or are we going to try and get the inhib?
Right.
Being split a little bit made that hard.
Yep. I think my thought was like they're going to be up, so just get the
Yeah, I know. I don't think you could have ended there.
Yeah. Can we force this? Doesn't say anything on it.
So.
Well, Ashe was on Drake.
Yeah, so. Trying to think.
I end up stealing it.
You do steal it, but you put yourself in such a bad position because your Aatrox isn't there, all the different stuff. Honestly, at this instance, I probably live to fight another day.
Yep.
Even if they get the Baron, like, it's okay.
Instead, I should have just left there too, right afterwards.
Yeah.
Instead of around and
That's okay. So you guys do the right thing. So it's a 3v5. You just reset really quick. Okay, I want to see how this fight goes. That's what we do. Yeah, we just need to be cute. We just need to try and kill the wave. Everything we can to just kill the wave without dying. I think he gets a little too focused on trying to kill somebody there. We get a kill, but like I said, the only thing that matters at this point is just kill the minions. That's all we got to do. And you guys come up. He should have just focused the Samir there. Small call out, but.
Yep.
That was actually a good hourglass. She one-taps you, unfortunately. And that's the end of the game. So, like I said, I think just playing around the objective, like understanding like they are tools to help you end the game, but they aren't like, oh man, if we lose this,